know once you start, there's no going back. This means total commitment. Once you begin the path, there is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that?
Alright, so let's talk about detachment for a second. Because sometimes we gotta learn how to just chill the fuck out and ride shit out, you know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta learn to take a step back. We gotta learn that things is just not that serious and it's just not the end of the world. And I ain't talking about detaching and being delusional or escaping. I'm just speaking on being observant, being intentional, and being able to see things for what they is, and being able to, trace things back to the origin of where they come from and what the fuck trigger you and shit like that. And the importance of knowing your own energy and cultivating what your energy is. And you're not going to be able to do that until you kind of sit down and chill with yourself and be able to be all right with being around yourself. You know what I mean? Which a lot of people got a problem doing. Even if you by yourself, sometimes we got all these devices, so we always got something to distract us. So when we talk about detachment, we talk about taking a step back and just giving a honest, unbiased look at ourselves, at our thought patterns, at our emotions, at our body, our belief systems and shit like that. Because these are the things that drive us to act the way we act. These are the things that drive us to make the decisions that we make, how we react, how we respond. So and a lot of it got to do with how you was brought up, right? A lot of your reactions, a lot of your responses, a lot of how you take things in and filter things out, how you deal with your emotions. It got a lot to do with your environment and how you was raised and the influences that you have around you now and shit like that. So it's important that you be able to see yourself from the outside looking in all dimensions. In your thought realm, in your emotional body, your etheric body, all of that shit. And I know these terms is, probably new to a lot of people, but you could do your own research. You feel me? But I'm just saying, it's very important for many reasons. So, for one, for example, like I grew up in a apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, right? 19 people in there. Everybody got their own ways. Everybody got their own moves. People got habits and shit like that. So it's a lot of arguments going on, a lot of debating going on, a lot of people throwing a emotional weight around and shit like that, and manipulate. A lot of manipulation going on too. So I grew up around a lot of that. Then you go outside, because I'm from the trenches, so you go outside. And then, we from the hood, so we like to talk about each other's clothes and tell jokes and shit like that. And you gotta be fast, you gotta be witty. So, a lot of that shit, and it's still living me now. Like it's seeped within the pores of how I react and who I am and my personality and my character. You feel me? But the difference is, when we taking a step back now, we in a controller seat and we able to see ourselves objectively and not be all super biased and just be possessed and controlled by our urges. You feel me? So a lot of us and it's another thing. A lot of us is in the process of reparenting ourselves, you know what I mean? Whether you know it or not, a lot of us is just learning how to emotionally regulate our own emotions and not react to every little thing and not be absorbed by our own minds and our own feelings and shit like that. So a lot of us just now learning that. A lot of us ain't received that when we was younger, so we have to give it to ourselves. So when we talking about detachment, you had to be very patient and very just compassionate just with yourself, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's just talk about detachment. What is detachment, right? Detachment, like I said, the definition for me is just taking a step back and taking an observant, attentional look, right? So we got to be able to do this with our own thoughts, because a lot of people think that they are their thoughts. They think the voice that's in their head is who they are. it's easy to forget that you are the observer of the thoughts. If you could hear the thought, if you could see the imagination, if you could feel the feelings, then that means you're not it. That means that you are experiencing it, right? So, and there's a lot of shit that a lot of people that I grew up with, they don't know. A lot of people in my family, they don't know. So, it's safe to say, like, a lot of people are not themselves. Literally, they're not themselves. They're their triggers or their traumas and whatever ticked them off and shit like that. And I still fight with this every day. Like I said, it's a journey. You're going to have to be able to give yourself that patience and compassion and shit that you would give a child. Like, because you're going to be, it's really like reparenting yourself, like I said. So when we talking about just with the thoughts and the emotions, you got to be able to literally be with it. You got to be really able to sit with it and be able to feel feelings that's uncomfortable, have thoughts that's all over the place, and be able to just see the nature of how you operate, see the nature of your function, and doing your best to not be consumed by it. It's the best and most simple way I could say it. Because if you don't, then you just pretty much being thrown around by the influences that arise in you that been placed there, like I said, through what happened in your environment when you was younger, through the things the circumstances that you in right now, and you're able to be easily triggered. You feel me? So it's important to be intentional. This is the only way you're going to ever be able to find your signature and really be able to truly be an individual and not be a prisoner to, like I said, your thoughts, your emotions, so on and so on. So it's just important sometimes just to, even when you're in a loving, caring relationship with people, we all have our times where we fed up. We all have our times where we need to go reset and chill and decompress. You know what I mean? We all have that time where we gotta just sit back and observe ourselves. That's the most healthy thing I think that a human being could do. So you could just see the nature of what a human is. You could see the nature and more importantly, you could see the conditioning that you are under and be able to release yourself from that conditioning so that other parts of you and other aspects of you could live and thrive. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like I said earlier, like, yo, I had to, and I still do, have to step back and be careful and watch my reactions. I might be in a conversation with somebody or something, and something might trigger me, and I might feel an emotion that might make me want to say something or be a little mean or be a little cold or whatever the case may be. If I'm able to catch myself, I'm able to see that and see where that timeline could take me and see if that's going to hurt somebody else and shit like that. And that is not going to be beneficial to myself, others, my environment, and my circumstances. You know what I mean? If I'm able to do that, that's a win-win situation. And like I said, it's going to be, some days you're going to be doing better than others, but it ain't really even about that. It's about just having those intentions. Intentions is everything. But this how you find your drip. This how you find your swag within your spiritual journey. This how you find your individualism. And you start to shed all of these things that drive you to just drive you to react and drive you to respond in a certain type of way, in an automated type of way. Cause like I'm the type of person, like, man, I used to be short with patience. Now I understand, by taking a step back, I be like, oh shit, when I see myself becoming impatient, I realize a lot of times, like, this is an opportunity for me to practice my patience, because now I'm feeling the feeling of, oh my God, I want this shit to hurry up, or whatever the case may be. So that's just something I'll be working on. And it's a journey just to change your own mind and your mind to get on the same page and be like, all right, and understand that it's a journey and not be so hard on yourself. Because a lot of times you taught to be hard on yourself, and you taught you got to be a perfectionist, and we just pick up on a lot of different things, you know what I mean? So, I just wanted to say, it's just important we chill out sometimes with ourselves, though. That we stay in our bodies, you know what I mean? That Even when we with other people, and that's like some of the best time to observe yourself when you with other people. Can you be yourself? Can you be authentic? Can you just be natural, or are you trying to always make an impression because other people are around? And then furthermore, where does that urge come from? We always try to follow, where does the urge come from? Always trying to get to the origin and to the root. And once we get there, we could integrate that, and it becomes, you start to conduct yourself naturally different. Like you'll start looking at yourself and be like, damn, I remember a time when I would have smacked the shit out of somebody. I remember a time when I would have, blew off the roof or whatever the case may be, or responded to that or whatever the case may be. And it's power in detachment, yo. It's power in sitting back and letting shit play out. It's a lot of power in that. And you will have to be able to be detached and not jump all the time. And this like a part, and I never really read The Art of War, nothing like that, but this is a part of war. You know what I'm saying? And it's a part of peace too. You gotta be able to like follow the patterns and see where things is headed and see where things is going and gain some insight and some foresight. You're not gonna be able to do that when you're in a reactive state, when you constantly being consumed and absorbed by like all your different thoughts and your emotions and things like that. And it allows space for the soul to come to the surface and speak, and you to be able to just be more naturally yourself. That's the biggest thing you could do in this whole world. I know for sure that's the goal when we talking about spirituality, is to realize who you are, be that, and be able to express that. I was asked this a couple years ago, and I spoke on this in the past too. Like, somebody asked me, like, what's your ultimate goal in life? And I had told them, like, yeah, it's 3 parts to that. My ultimate goal is to, 1, get a good understanding of who I am. 2, be able to perfectly express that. When I say perfectly express that, I mean just be able to be comfortable, relaxed, and not worry about what the next person gonna think and shit like that. You feel me? And 3, leave behind some form of legacy, some form of legend, something that somebody else, when I say that, I mean something that somebody else could benefit from even when I'm dead and gone. I don't have to get credit for it. My name don't have to be on the marquee or in lights or in the credits or nothing like that. But the energy itself, that signature itself, that frequency itself could live, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Learn how to detach, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to, like, especially when it comes to opposition, and it's funny because when we talk about opposition, we talking about war. When we talk about peace, I would correlate that to like your family. You want to bring peace to those around you, peace to your family. So it's important to practice detachment when you're around your family, because you don't want to say nothing to hurt somebody. You don't want to make nobody feel bad. You don't want to devalue somebody or disempower somebody and shit like that. So you practice like, you see that thought, you feel that feeling, and be like, I ain't even going, I'm going to just let that sit. I'm going to just let that simmer down before I respond, or whatever the case may be. And when we talking about opposition and we talking about war, you don't want to be too fast to the trigger. You don't want to jump the gun, because you might fall into an ambush or fall into a trap. Silence is golden, you know what I mean? Like, it's very important to practice silence. We think we learn a lot from interacting. We think we learn a lot from reading books, and we think we getting somewhere from doing. But a lot of times you just got to be able to just shut up, be able to sit back and within yourself. Most importantly, though, be able to take a back seat within yourself and put your attention and your energy on that observer seat, so that you could take an unbiased look, like I said. But when we talking about opposition and war, you don't want to play your hand too fast. You want to be able to strategize. You want to be able to let things come together, and you never want to provoke or invoke your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You don't never want to energize your enemy. even with your body language and things like that. When we like, I'm a person that watch boxing a lot. I'm a big boxing fan. So one of the number one rules in boxing is that you don't get angry. And you would think like, damn, you fighting somebody punching at you, trying to hurt you, trying to knock you out. You would think like anger would be one of the best things, but anger clouds your judgment though. You feel me? So a boxer got to go in there with somebody that been talking shit for months and saying what they're gonna do, and millions of dollars is on the line and stuff like that, and be able to stay poised and stay in the observing seat and stay detached to be able to win the fight. So you're not blinded by your emotions. You're not blinded by your thoughts. You dealing with the situation, engaging with the situation as it is, so you don't have to look back in retrospect and be feeling like, damn, feeling resentment and regret and wishing that things never happened, or wishing you did better. You'll be able to seize the moment through detachment. You feel me? Like even now with me speaking, like I gotta be in a relaxed state. I gotta detach from what another person gonna think about what I'm saying, so that I could be able to speak my mind, speak my heart, and shit like that. You ain't gonna be able to do that when you worry about what the next person gonna say, what the next person gonna think. And it's a problem a lot of people in the world got, a lot of people in America got, and we living in some crazy times. The last thing you need to have on your mind is what another person got on their mind. So it's important that you observe that. And it's really just about doing the inventory, you feel me? Trust me, it be times I be wanting to curse people out. It be times I be wanting to rebuttal shit. I be seeing people taking little shots. I be saying all type of stuff like, want to express disappointments in people and all in situations and all type of stuff. And I'm like, what for though? A lot of times, like it's like when you see people arguing and shit, like, all right, like y'all should just go y'all separate ways. Y'all could agree to disagree. Like y'all not getting no point across. So just go your way. So I had, you learn to do things like that. Like learn to be like, all right, even if people saying certain things about you and seeing you in a certain way, you can't control that. So it's best to just detach from it. Now, when we just talking about, this is the major thing, when we just talking about our energy and getting rejuvenated and recharging, especially for the introverts out there, people that already naturally are drawn to spending time alone and have that need for time alone so that you could get your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and all your bodies in order. For those of us that's like that, it's priority that we cultivate some type of alone time, taking walks, and I fuck with taking walks and salt baths, and I call it the self-love tour. Cut my own hair, and just spend time myself and being able to be a friend to me. How you gonna be a friend to somebody else? How you gonna be in a relationship with somebody else and you can't stand being alone? And if you're a person that's extroverted, or you like to interact and things like that, just be mindful, like what you bringing to the table, what kind of emotions and feelings and thoughts. If you ain't do the inventory on it, why would you want to take that to somebody else doorstep? You know what I mean? You don't have no control over certain things about yourself, and you don't understand certain things about yourself, and you're not taking the time out the door. That's like you putting that energy, you're gonna wind up putting that energy on somebody else. So it's very important to take a step back. Shit. And this could, like, real shit, this be the thing that be killing a lot of relationships. Like, people be too much up on each other in a energetic way. Like, you could be around somebody 24/7. It is true love out there like that, trust me, that you could be around somebody most of the time. But as long as y'all had that understanding that, sometimes it's time for me to just go my own path for a second and just detach from the whole situation, detach from being a whatever you are, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother. Sometimes you just gotta be your natural self, stripped down all the way to the soul, detaching from the whole world. And what you got to do next, and what's more important, and what's this and what's that. Sometimes you just gotta fall back and just breathe and just let it all go, and be able to become nothing and everything at the same time. And you'll start to notice, like, you getting good at it when you stop reacting, and you notice that, oh shit, I could have said this and this could have turned the whole day around, but since I was able to just breathe and woosah a little bit and be able to see the trigger for what it was, it take you on a whole different timeline, and it changed the trajectory of your whole life. And those be the biggest wins when we talk about spirituality, and spirituality is everything. I don't care what nobody say, everything is spiritual. Everything come from the unseen realm first before it's manifest. Anybody that ever invented something or whatever the case may be, they had to cultivate that shit in their imagination first. So, and this shit sharpen, and detachment sharpen the intuition. A lot of times we be attached to outcomes, attached to people, attached to circumstances and stuff like that, but we able to detach and take a step back. We able to see what's truly healthy for us, and it sharpen your intuition, because you no longer biased to how something goes, so you able to see straight. You feel me? That's the most important thing. And you able to know your path, and know when you getting off your path, and know who should and shouldn't be on your path. You feel what I'm saying? Because you want to be on your path, and it strengthens your protection too. Because, like I always say, anytime we on our path, we're protected. It's only when we step outside of who we truly are, where we truly supposed to be, and be able to step outside our triggers and have an observant look. When we do that, then we protect what's valuable. We protect our dignity. We protect our integrity. You feel what I'm saying? We protect our reputation by just not being thrown around by these things that come through us but are not us. You feel me? So yeah, like, it's gonna have to start to become cool to spend time alone sometimes, and know when to just go reset. Know when to take an hour or something away from people, maybe everybody. Knowing when to just make a routine, knowing how to just go for a run, go for a walk, whatever you like to do, play the guitar, meditate, whatever you like to do. Go to sleep sometimes. Sometimes you gotta take a nap to reset, but it's important that we do that. We come back better, we come back fresher when we like that, and we able to get a step closer to the life that we deserve, the life that we see for ourselves, and and most of all, we able to get a clearer view for what's really for us. Because when you don't understand how to detach, you know what I mean, you don't see even your dreams are not clear. A lot of shit I used to dream about wanting and thinking that was valuable, it truly never was. It was valuable in the eyes of people that I might have been attached to. It might have been or material things that I was attached to. So it wasn't truly my dream. It wasn't truly my goals. It was just something that I was valuing because I wasn't taking that step back and taking that observant look. So now once you do that, then your whole dream change. And and your dreams start to kind of manifest you. And when I say dream, I don't mean in a corny way, like, but really, I feel like let's not say dream. Let's control or delete the word dream, because that's very vague. I think it's very vast. But your journey, your path, what you hear, what you meant to do. I really truly believe and know, like, everybody here for a bunch of different purposes, but you ain't gonna find that out when you attach to too many things, when you attach to anything. Also, like, we go through a lot of hardship just as humans, a lot of grieving, a lot of heartache, heartbreak, and emotional ups and downs, and things that happen in our lives that's outside our control. You feel me? And it's important that we're able to be able to take a step back at some point and detach from those things too, so that we can see the lesson in the shit. For example, if somebody hurt you or something, or hurt your feelings, or disappointed you, or whatever the case may be, you might begin to see them as the target of your frustration or the target of your disappointment or whatever the case may be. But it's not until you be able to take the step back so you can see the reason why things happen and what is the beneficial thing you could get from the situation that could expand you. Because that's what we striving for. We always striving for expansion, whether you know it or not. A lot of people resist and fight against it, but the nature of the universe is expansion. The universe is constantly expanding. It's not getting smaller. It's getting bigger. The nature is expansion. So you want to be able to expand your awareness, expand your intuition, sharpen your intuition. So you're gonna have to be able to take some shit on the chin. You're gonna be able to not respond to every little thing, man. You're gonna definitely be able to see, like, you take a lot of power back from a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of circumstances, a lot of events. You feel me? And I always use this example. I'm gonna leave you with this. You know, like it's like Jay-Z, right? Or Drake, or one of the whatever the biggest rapper, biggest singer is, right? A lot of times the new artists come around and they try to take a shot at them or whatever the case may be. Say things about them that may not be true, that may be true, and just try to assassinate their character. But if you somebody like Jay-Z or Drake or Lil Wayne or somebody that's one of the hierarchy people in music or whatever, basketball, whatever the case is, right? If you're one of those people, you're not about to come down and stoop down to a level of a person that didn't work to get on the level that you at. They trying to use your energy to manifest their energy. Because if you say their name, now they all of a sudden become the topic of discussion. People are already used to you being on the top of the pinnacle, so it's like normal for you. So now when you mention their name, you bring them up where you at. So sometimes you just gotta go silent on people, man. Let them just throw rocks at the sun. And not identify yourself as that target that they aiming at. You feel me? And that goes for your thoughts, that goes for your feelings and your emotions and so on and so on. If you don't identify with it, you will be able to see it for what it is, and you will be able to just be you. And being you is very, very powerful.